Hi, welcome to Chalk Pretty Things. My name is Debbie. I'd like to welcome you here for another series of crafting. Today we're going to use our Club of the Month transfer, which is just this cute little spring flowers. It says, just keep breathing. Nice and springy. I love the butterfly and the flowers. And we're going to use a watercolor technique that I have never used, but we're going to end up putting it on this canvas board. So what I have here is a piece of aluminum foil, and I know that you can also do this technique using a piece of plastic, like a plastic Ziploc bag, but I'm going to use these washable markers to just kind of color in some designs, and we're going to transfer it to our canvas. So I am going to kind of make this look like a colorful background. I think I'm going to start with maybe some yellow in here, and I'm just going to color in this whole piece of aluminum foil. So we're going to do some coloring. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick some, maybe let's do some oranges right here. I'm just going to fill this with color. I'm just kind of scribbling some color here, and we're going to spray this with water. So the marks that I make right now may get spread around into just a blob. I'm not sure. I have never done this technique before, but I am excited to try it. I'm going to put some blue up here, kind of like a sky. I'm not necessarily filling in all of the foil areas. Just kind of sporadically adding some color. And I think I'm going to add some purple throughout this too. A little bit of variegated color. So like I said, I really don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of scribbling along. This might be our sunshine. It might land where the butterfly is. I'm not sure. Let's do some, maybe a little splotches of red here and there. Just kind of zigging and zagging. Zigging and zagging. Let's do some pinks. And we're going to do a little bit of greens too. A little bit of green. Now the green is going to kind of transition to our grassy area maybe. So we're just going to kind of add some color. So I'm kind of trying to make a scene that maybe the flowers would be in. Maybe a playground, maybe a grassy hill, maybe some dirt. Let's make a little bit of dirt in here. Now my chalk, when I chalk this design on, it is going to be, hi Phil, it's going to be black. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of dark colors because I want the black to pop. How are you doing? We have some gray. Should we add some gray just for fun? The word of the day to get the supplies I'm using is club. This is our Club of the Month transfer for March, and you can only get it by signing up for the Club Couture, which is, let's see, how much is it? It is $21.99 a month, delivered to your door, and you'll get an 8.5 by 11-inch transfer and 3 coordinating colors with your club transfer, delivered to your door every month. It's a lot of fun. I hope you'll give it a try. This transfer is available to designers like I am and Club Couture members only. So they are exclusive. Okay, I have a whole bunch of color here. What do you guys think? Can you guys see it? Can you see all that color? Now, my next step is to spritz it with water. So I am just going to spritz it here and there. And of course, this will make it kind of wet. I'm not exactly sure how much to spritz, so I'm just going to give it a pretty good amount because I want it to kind of transfer to my canvas. Okay, so I've got it spritzed and I've got my canvas. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it down. I want to get my sun in there for sure. And I'm just going to lay it down and press it into this wet colors. And we'll see if this even transfers. I'm hoping so. Otherwise, I'll have to go back to the drawing board. So I'm just going to press it into the wet markers. Let's lift it up and see what happens. Oh, look, guys. I think I like it. I do. Look at that. Some of the yellow area didn't transfer there, but that's okay. I think I'm just going to let it go like that. I'm just going to gently fold this up. I'm sure I could probably use that again, but this is my background. I'm going to dry it real quick before it makes a mess. It could slide, slip and slide. So I've got my quick dry tool here. I'm going to dry this watercolor paint up. And we'll see what it looks like. So there are ways of doing this with the plastic Ziploc bag. You're mainly just using the plastic on the bag to color on. Same exact technique. I don't know if there's any difference. I kind of like that there's some white spots in this. I hope you do too. And I think I could probably blow some of these wet spots around. What's new today? Today's Monday. Do you love Mondays? I do. I love Mondays. A new week full of adventure. High hopes for doing something wonderful. I love Mondays. But one thing I didn't think about is that this is a canvas, and when you chalk on a canvas, it is a rough surface, and you really want your surface to be as smooth as possible to do the transfer. So once this is dry, I'm going to go ahead and add a layer of wax, just to go ahead and give it a smooth surface, kind of fill in the holes, the divots, the texture of this canvas board. And then we'll proceed to transfer. I like this so far. So where there are puddles of water, it kind of moves around and spreads as I'm doing it with the dryer. And we're watching paint dry. Aren't we lucky? I wonder if I should color in this. Maybe I should. I think I might go ahead and color in some of this a little bit. This sun a little more and spritz it with water and see what happens. Okay, so it did spread the color. Let's just go ahead and dry it up. Make it look more like a sunny area. I don't mind the rest of these areas having white spots. I also don't want to create mud with too many colors. Have you guys tried this watercolor technique before? Let me know in the comments. How did you do it? Did you use paper? Also, have you guys been thinking about different ways to color your Easter eggs this year? You know, when I grew up, it was always the vinegar, water, and the dye, which works great. Then there came along all these kits that you could buy. Some were tie-dye, some were marbled, some were glittery. Then came like a natural processes like with beets and I don't know what else, but more using natural substances to boil them and create the color. I saw one technique today somewhere where they're using rice. So they just get a bag of rice and they drop some food coloring in it, and then they put their egg in there and kind of smash it around. And that looks kind of fun too. I might want to try that this year. So I think the area where I added the, actually drew on it with marker directly, it looks a little more muddy than the other colors. But I think that's okay. I think it's almost dry. And then we'll go on to our next step. Okay, I think it feels pretty dry, guys. So, I'm gonna wipe up some of this paint that I have splattered. And so, like I said, what I want to do is I want to use a little bit of surface wax. This is our surface wax. It's just like a protectant, a barrier, if you will. And this is what we're going to use. Let me get a paper towel or cloth. I've just got a cloth here. I'm going to cut off a piece. I'm going to just apply a little bit of this wax to my canvas. Now, the canvas is bumpy. You can sand it off if you wanted to, but we would sand off the colors at this point. So I'm going to use this as my barrier. It's going to be kind of my primer to fill in some of these divots, uneven areas, and make it like it's more even to wax on so that my paste will not run or bleed, and it will lay it will lay evenly. So just a thin layer. And then I'm going to kind of rub it off. No, I don't know if that's enough. I still feel a lot of bumps. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now, guys. This is our background. Put our wax away. Save our little cloth for next time. And I've got my transfer right here. This is my fuzzing towel. These are reusable. They're sticky on the back, which makes them grab the surface so that it doesn't move around when you're fuzzing, when you're chalking. It comes off of this removable backer. And notice I'm going to go ahead and do an X on the back of this just so I know that that is the back. Because if I put this back on the transfer, which you need to do, and I put it on the wrong side, it's going to stick and it's not going to be good. So what I'm going to do is reduce the stickiness of this a little bit by applying it to a piece of fabric and lifting 2 to 3, 4 times, reducing that stickiness so it doesn't stretch the transfer up when it pulls, or it doesn't pull up the paint below from the surface. And this should be a quick little craft, guys. So this cute transfer, I want to kind of center as best I can. I'm going to smooth it down all around the silk screen. And actually, I think I'm going to get, this is my paint stripper. I'm just going to go ahead and smooth it with this. You can just use your hands. You can use a squeegee. I have a brayer that I could use. You don't have to do all this. You can just do it with your hands. But I really want to make sure I get a good, clear impression. So I'm going to make sure it's down. I'm going to get my chalk paste. Let's see how it is. Looks good. So I'm going to get a squeegee. I'm going to use a pretty good size squeegee for this. Get a little bit on my squeegee. And I'm going to smooth it over the silk screen. The silk screen allows the paste to go down to the surface below. And when you peel it up when it's still wet, it will stay below. So that's what's going to create the design. I want to be cognizant of where my designs are. I don't want to get black on the area that I don't want it to have black on. But I do want to get coverage for the entire design. So I'm just pasting it on, smoothing it. This stuff glides so easily. I've got a little butterfly there. I should have done that one with a little different color. But it's okay. We'll just do it monochromatic on our colorful background. Anything new with you guys today? Do you guys love Mondays like I do? I just feel like it's a new beginning. I know it could be hard to get going again after you've had a little break for the weekend, but I'm always excited to get going again. So I'm going to go over this and just kind of smooth over it to make sure that I've got a smooth, everything's pretty even, and also to make sure that I'm getting off any excess paste. So I've got this extra paste, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it back in my paste jar, and I can use it later. I'm not going to waste anything. Okay, now I'm going to pull this off. Make sure I have enough coverage up here. I'm going to pull this off while it's still wet, and we'll take a look. And as we pull, we're going to inspect it to see, whoa, if we need to repair anything. Oh, you guys, wow. I'll lay this down face up. Look at this. What do you guys think? I love it. I love it. I love it. These flowers are beautiful, and I think I could have done the butterfly a different color. I hope you love it, guys. I'm going to show you how to clean this transfer real quick. The black does stain a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and spray this with just tap water right now. And it looks like I might be out of paper towels. Let me see. Let me go ahead and cap up my paste. I'm going to put my squeegee in this bucket of water I have here. Cap up my paste so it doesn't dry out. Let me look for a paper towel real quick. I do have paper towels, yay. So this is important for the black because the black is dark and it may stain the top layer of your transfer, the outside, the teal areas. It's almost guaranteed to stain. Look how much I pulled up already. But you just want to make sure that you clean it completely out of the silkscreen area. That's what allows it to be used again and again between 8 and 12 times. And I'm going to make a couple things. I'd like to make a pillow out of this. I'd like to make a tote bag out of this. I can reuse this many times. And this transfer, I think, really lends itself to creating many different things with it. So you're not limited to just a wall hanging, a sign. You can do really anything you want. You can put it on a shirt. Anything you want. Okay, now that I have that sort of clean, I've got my wet board eraser. It's been sitting in water. And this really helps with the remainder. It takes off a lot of this paste. And it will remove some of the staining, but I do expect some of the staining to remain with the black. Now you do want to make sure that you clean both sides of your transfer. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse out my squeegee. Peel up my transfer. Clean my work area. Now I'm going sticky side up. I'm going to go ahead and spray this with water again. And this is the adhesive side that we don't want to damage, so we want to go a little bit easier. And really, when you think about it, the paste should only be in the silk screen on this side because the other part was vinyl, which it shouldn't have gone through. So this should only be silk screen that's dirty. So this side's really easy to clean. Okay. Now I like to go over the front side one more time. I just feel like it helps a lot. And you know, I don't particularly like the staining, but it does not hurt your transfer at all, as long as all your ink is out of the silkscreen areas. So you should be able to see white through those. Okay, now I get another paper towel and dry the top. Flip it over and dry the adhesive side. Now this side, when it's wet, you can go over lightly with a paper towel without sticking. The sticky will come back once it dries. I can see that I have picked up a little piece of glitter here, and it's real close to the silk screen, so I want to get that off. There's a piece of paint there. I just really want to get this free from debris. And my sticky has come back already. Now remember how I marked the X for the back? We used to be able to say the shiny side to the adhesive side, but as you can see, both of these sides are pretty shiny. So I know that this is my back. I'm just gonna lay it on top, press it down, flip it over, and I'm gonna rub all around it to make sure that I have contact with the backing sheet so that it ensures that it's ready to go again and can be used and the sticky is protected. So see how you can see through, you can see the white, the silk screen is all white. So even though it has the black staining, as long as you can see through that silk screen, it's clean and it's good to go. So I would store that back in my cellophane little bag that it came in, and it's great to go. So this is our project for tonight. Today's project, just our Club Couture transfer on a little canvas backer, watercolored. My first time doing a watercolor technique, and I love it. Do you guys love it? Give it a heart. Will you try it? I hope you do. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.